In this video, we will learn how to crochet this beautiful granny square tank top. Note that you can use a single color, or you can use 3 different colors to make this multicolored version. Please reference my separate video tutorial to see how to crochet these daisy granny squares, and note that larger sizes have additional rounds as written in the pattern. It is very important to steam block the granny squares to the finished dimensions as listed in the pattern, as the size of the granny squares affects the overall size of the tank top. Here are my finished daisy granny squares after blocking, and notice the crisp edges. In total, you will need to crochet 12 granny squares. Now we will learn how to crochet the daisy granny triangle. Note that we will work in turned rows. To begin row 1, use your center color yarn and make a magic ring. Work 6 single crochets inside this magic ring. Once the 6 single crochets have been worked, pull the initial yarn tail to close the magic ring. To begin row 2, chain 1 and turn your work. Work a single crochet in each single crochet stitch across. Here you can see I have 6 single crochets. Now you can cut the yarn and fasten off your work. Get your petal color yarn and make a slip knot. Insert your hook into the first single crochet, which is located on the far right side. Add your slip knot and pull through. To begin row 3, chain 5. These are the starting chains. Work a cluster in the same first single crochet. Now I have 5 loops on my hook, so I'll yarn over and pull through all the loops. Chain 3. Repeat this across, working clusters in each single crochet with chain 3s in between. You should have 6 clusters. To end off the row, chain 5. Slip stitch to the last single crochet where the last cluster was just worked. Now you can cut your yarn and fasten off. Get your background frame color and insert your hook in the first chain space, which is on the far right side. Make a slip knot. Add the slip knot to your hook and pull through. To begin row 4, chain 5. Once again, these are your starting chains. Work 3 double crochets in the first chain space. Work 3 half double crochets in the next 2 chain spaces. As you can see, I've worked my half double crochets, and in the next chain space, I will work the corner stitches. The corner stitches are 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets, all worked in the same chain space. Now that the corner stitches have been worked, you will work 3 half double crochets in the next 2 chain spaces. After the half double crochets are done, you will work 3 double crochets in the last chain space. To end off row 4, chain 5. Slip stitch to the last chain space. To begin row 5, chain 1 and turn your work. We need to get our working yarn back up at this height, so slip stitch 2 up the chain 5 from the previous row as shown here. Now that we're at this spot, we can chain 5. Work 3 double crochets in the first chain space. Skip the first double crochet and work double crochets across. Skip the last double crochet before the chain space. Now it is time to work the corner stitches in the chain space. The corner stitches are 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. Once again, skip the next double crochet and work double crochets across. Skip the double crochet before the last chain space. Work 3 double crochets in the last chain space. To end off the row, chain 5. Slip stitch to the last chain space. To begin row 6, chain 1 and turn your work. Once again, slip stitch 2 up the chain 5 from the previous row. This time, chain 3. Work 2 double crochets in the first chain space. Skip the next stitch and work 1 double crochet in the following stitch. Next, you will chain 1, skip 1, double crochet 1 in the next stitch across until the chain space is reached. As you can see, I'm approaching the chain space soon. Your last stitch before the chain space should be 1 double crochet. In the chain space, you will work the corner stitches, which are 2 double crochets, chain 3, 2 double crochets. Once again, skip the next stitch and work 1 double crochet in the following stitch. Work chain 1, skip 1, double crochet 1 in the next stitch across until the last chain space is reached. Your last stitch before the chain space should be a double crochet. Work 2 double crochets in the last chain space. To end off row 6, chain 3 and slip stitch to the last chain space. Your daisy granny triangle is complete, so you can cut the yarn and fasten off. This is the right side of the triangle. As you can see, here are the V's of the last row. This is the wrong side of the triangle. Arrange your 12 granny squares as shown here and reference the pattern to see in which direction you should seam. I used the whip stitch to seam the granny squares together. Note that I insert my yarn needle into both the front and back loops of both granny squares when seaming. The wrong sides of the granny squares should be facing you when you're whip stitching them together, so that the right side has a cleaner look. Be sure to whip stitch loosely, as you do not want the seams to be too tight and bunched up when you are wearing your tank top. Fold the piece sideways like this and fold the side granny square in half. Using the same yarn strand, seam these last 2 sides. Now that I've seamed these 2 sides, it is time to add the triangles. Fold 1 triangle and add it here. Add 2 triangles here, 1 on each side, and fold the last triangle and add it here. Use 1 strand of yarn to seam the 4 triangles to the bottom of the tank top along both sides. Use the same whip stitch seaming technique to add the triangles to the bottom of the tank top. All the seaming is complete. It is now time to add the top edging and the straps of the tank top. With the right side of the granny squares facing you, start in the right corner of the top edge as indicated by the stitch marker. Make a slip knot. Insert your hook, add the slip knot, and pull through. To begin round 1, chain 1 and work a single crochet in the same stitch. Place your stitch marker on the first single crochet. Work single crochets in each stitch around, including the chain stitches. Continue doing this all around the top edge, working clockwise. Here you can see I am working single crochets in the chain stitches. In the dip of the V, I placed these 3 stitch markers to show that you need to work a single crochet in each of these. Work a single crochet in this chain, work a single crochet here in this middle stitch, which is the dip of the V, and work another single crochet in this chain stitch. Continue working single crochets all the way around. As you're approaching the end of round 1, here's the stitch marker. Do not work any stitches across the last chain space to prevent bunching. Slip stitch to the first single crochet to close up round 1. To begin round 2, chain 1, single crochet in the next stitch and the subsequent stitches. Place your stitch marker in the first single crochet. Continue working single crochets until you reach the top tip of the granny square, as shown here. Now that the top tip has been reached, we will crochet the strap. Chain 35. Adjust this number as necessary. I have chained 35. Being careful not to twist the chains, flip the tank top to the other side from left to right as shown here. Slip stitch to the top tip of the granny square on this side. Continue working single crochets in each stitch around. At the end of the round, work an invisible single crochet decrease across the last 2 stitches. Insert your hook into the front loops of the next 2 stitches, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through both loops. To close round 2, slip stitch to the first single crochet. To begin round 3, chain 1 and single crochet in the next stitch and in each stitch around. Place your stitch marker in the first single crochet. Continue working single crochets until you reach the strap. When you're working single crochets in the chain stitches, insert your hook into both the front and back loops of each chain stitch. When you flip these chain stitches around, you'll notice these back bumps. Be sure to leave them untouched. Continue working single crochets around. As you're approaching the end of the round, once again, work an invisible single crochet decrease across the last 2 stitches. Slip stitch to the first single crochet to close up round 3. Now you can fasten off and cut your yarn. Once you've crocheted the first strap, you can try on your tank top to ensure that you like the strap length. Now it's time to crochet the second strap. We will rejoin the yarn in the other armpit area that has no strap. Starting from here, we will repeat the previous steps by crocheting around to make the strap working clockwise. Make a slip knot. Insert your hook, add the slip knot, and pull through. To begin the round, chain 1, single crochet in the next stitch and in each stitch around. Repeat the last 2 rounds of the first strap to crochet the second strap. Now that we have 2 straps, we will be working on the middle of the tank in the straps. Rejoin your yarn in the top right of the V as indicated by this stitch marker. Make a slip knot. Insert your hook, add the slip knot, and pull through. To begin round 1, chain 1, single crochet in the next stitch and in each stitch around. Add your stitch marker to the chain 1 stitch. In the dip of the V, work an invisible single crochet decrease across the 3 middle stitches. To do so, insert your hook into the front loops of the next 3 stitches. Yarn over, pull through 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through both loops. Continue working single crochets until the strap. Locate the back bumps along the strap. Notice that they are these horizontal bars as shown here. Work single crochets in these back bumps. Continue working single crochets around. You will repeat the same steps around the other side of the tank top, including the dip of the V and the straps. So once again, you'll work an invisible single crochet decrease across the 3 middle stitches of this V2, and you'll work single crochets in the back bumps of this strap. As you're approaching the end of the round, you will work a slip stitch to the chain 1 to close the round. Now you can fasten off and cut your yarn. Now that the top edging and both straps are complete, it's time for the bottom edging. With the tank top upside down, rejoin your yarn in the far right triangle. We will be working clockwise. We will be starting here as indicated by the stitch marker. Make a slip knot. Insert your hook, add the slip knot, and pull through. To begin round 1, chain 1. Work a single crochet in the same stitch. Pick up single crochet stitches along the entire bottom of the tank top. Place your stitch marker in the first single crochet. Be sure to pick up enough stitches and do not work too tightly, otherwise the bottom of the tank top will be cinched or feel tight when you are wearing it. As you can see, I've picked up single crochet stitches along here, and it really helps to smooth out the bottom. I pick up 3 stitches across each petal and about 3 to 4 stitches across the daisy centers. As you can see, I've picked up single crochet stitches all along the bottom of the tank top, working clockwise. To close the round, slip stitch to the first single crochet. To begin round 2, chain 1. Single crochet in the same stitch and in each single crochet around. Place your stitch marker in the first single crochet. Continue working single crochets all the way around. Slip stitch to the first single crochet to close up round 2. For the last round, switch from a 4.5mm hook to a 4mm hook. To begin round 3, chain 1. Work a single crochet in the same stitch. Now we will crochet the delicate picot edging. Chain 3. Work a single crochet in the first chain. Then work single crochets in the next 3 stitches. Continue working chain 3, single crochet in the first chain, single crochet 3 around to create the beautiful picot edging. Continue repeating this around, and once again we are working clockwise. As we're approaching the end of the round or the very first picot that we made, finish working your final single crochets. To finish off round 3 or the final round, slip stitch to the first single crochet. Now you can fasten off and cut the yarn. You've completed your dainty and delicate picot edging. To work a clean finish, thread the yarn tail through a yarn needle. Insert the needle through the front and back loops of the next stitch. Then insert the needle through the back loop only of the previous stitch. Now the stitches look continuous and you can weave in this end down here. It is very important to block your final tank top to relax the fibers and smooth out the stitches. Here, you can see I'm using my steamer for blocking. I block the straps and the bottom edging too. I hope you enjoy crocheting your own tank tops, everyone!